right, guys, so I have just a couple key points to go over today. So you do have today's class period. Those working at home or Edge students, you have today, Thursday the 13th, as well as tomorrow, Friday the 14th. When you are finished working tomorrow, your project should be done. So those of you in class, the goal would be to finish that project up before the end of class. However, those of you that are in class, if you would need additional time, you'd be welcome, at any time to work on your project at home. And Edge students, everything does need to be turned in tomorrow night by midnight, and I have the wrong calendar open for you guys. It's because I'm also in the wrong course. There we go. So, looking at our calendar, we can see that the next 2 days we are working on our packaging mock-up. So, what I'd like to spend just a second of time talking about, so most of you have a box, and when we are designing in segments. So although a box, let me just pull up a picture of a box here real quick. Has this corner, you may want to wrap. So let's say you were going to have a line on your box. You want that to wrap seamlessly around. But you're designing, this is one portion and this is one portion. If I wanted a stripe to go around here, how would I do that? Anybody have an idea? So this panel and this panel should have the same height. They should have the same height. So when I'm in Photopea, I could say, yep, I want, drag a guideline. I want that guideline to start, I want my stripe to start at 1 inch, and I want the stripe to be a 1/2 inch wide. So I would make another guideline, and that's where the rectangle that would essentially be my stripe would go. And on the other piece, I'd put the stripe at the same location. So you want to use guidelines to look at your ruler. So if you need a review to turn your rulers on, you're going to choose View and put a check mark beside Rulers. You could also turn your grid on to see that information. That might be helpful depending on what you're doing. There are reasons why you would want to think about alignment. So for the most part, we're probably arbitrarily kind of placing our design thoughts, but we want this box to look very cohesive. So if you have text that starts right here, from the side, maybe your text needs to start there. So looking at your guidelines and looking at your measurements could be helpful to truly make the design look cohesive. Questions on that information? All right, I've been watching students work in class, reviewing some things online. Nothing else is popping in my head right now of instruction that I think you need. Those of you in class, if you have questions, please ask. Those of you at home, please ask. I'm hoping that through the class period today, as students are working, some things will pop in my head of instructional pieces that you might need to know as we're working through this project. You guys are welcome to get busy on your work, and have a good day.